Start transcribing. Okay, there we go. Mm. All right, so what we're doing is starting to see bullish movement within the DXY. This very well could be a 4 hour retracement, but I'm not liking how every time we dip down below this 96.6 level, we either get a reversal or we immediately come right back up. So even on the higher time frames, it's showing that people don't really want to trade below those levels. But I do think it's probable, if not today, I know tomorrow has NFP. We could probably be seeing not NFP. What's that news tomorrow? Is it CPI? I think it is. I think it's CPI right here. Yeah, it's CPI. So we got CPI in the morning. We could probably see that imbalance actually get filled around then. Um, Also for go right here for hitting. If you got charts or anything like that, you can just you can put them in the chat and I'll check them out and stuff and look at them for you. Let's see. Looks like we're bullish, man. Everything. I really don't like this consolidation range that we've been in. You're seeing a lot of the same things that the dollar is showing, where every time we get below these key levels right here, we just kind of we dip down, we come back up, we dip down, we come back up. We get one really nice liquidity spike, but for the most part, it's just all reversals. So I wouldn't be looking to take anything in here, even if like you were able to get a sale. I'm not really looking for sales right now just because we've been steadily making break of structures to the upside. Nothing really clearing anything down on the low side, other on the sell side, other than just a couple sweeps of liquidity right here. I think looking at this on the smaller time frames, it's just a bunch of liquidity. I mean, we might could see we might could see reversals out of this area. We got this really nice institutional candle that pushed down right here. Been building solid demand up above those price levels. It looks like it's right there at the 886 retracement, which is pretty much a favorite of mine. Let's see. We just had an alert go off. Let's check YN. What it is. Should have just cleared New York highs. Did. So if we can get if we can maybe get a shakeout right here. Like if we come up, come down, trade into this range right here, reject off of these New York highs and take it down to these Tokyo highs. Um, if if we can get the demand that shows that people are actually willing to buy and sell below these highs, then I think that we could get a solid probability for a trade to play out right here. Solid 1 to 3, but I really think it could be taken into structure right there. Go for a 1 to 4, but go back to go back to currencies. We'll come back to that. Let's see, I'm going to set an alert if we so we can see how we work our way back up that way right there. Because if we just come right back up, like if we just, if we just do something like this where we just spike down and then come back up, then it's not the shakeouts to the other side. That's the best way I can put it. Basically, they're trying to induce sellers to liquidate them when the market goes higher. But what we want them to do is to induce buyers that they're going to liquidate when we get into this sale. Um, so we how price action unfolds is what will confirm this trade right here. Let's see, go back up to my currencies. What is this? Oh, I meant to have my camera on too. Yeah, that way, you can people can actually see that it's a person. Let's see, do we have any economic news today outside of red folders? Not really. Nothing worthwhile, at least. 6E is just running built it has a lot of liquidity built up under these Tokyo lows with this imbalance right here. Does not look like we got a confirmation for that trade. I want to basically become. Mm, I don't know. It hasn't really shot up, so we could still get that demand down here. I'll just check back in with that one instead of setting an alert. Um, but yeah, like I was saying about 6E, basically all of this right here is just straight imbalance. It's inefficient price action. Um, and I wouldn't be looking for any type of buys in this area with this right here because that's too much liquidity. That's more than I'm comfortable with. Maybe someone can be really profitable in something like that, but that's not the one that I would look for. And as you can see, this last pump up right here that we got around 3 o'clock on yesterday's New York session, a lot of the currencies actually have it, um, and I think what it was looking like was so far 6E is the most bearish one. They're all trading pretty high up above Tokyo highs right now. Um, so this one looks to be the one that's falling the fastest. So, and I do still have this sell zone up here coming out of this large spike. That was a news event. I can't remember exactly which one. Um, it was quite a while ago, like last week. But I don't remember exactly which one that was. That may have been NFP or right before the session before NFP. So then, yeah. So this one would have been right here. Hmm. Anyway, I'm liking the yen for sales. Really around this area, nothing else is really screaming out to me. I don't like that this looks like liquidity right there. There could possibly be some reversals out of right there just because of we do get that push up, like you see that institutional candle right there where we get that push up and then it kind of just melts off in that sell off. But this looks like liquidity to me, so I would rather if the market came up and actually grab that liquidity before reversing. It would make it a more A plus setup for me. Not really. Not really a whole lot going on with currencies. Let's see, NQ is still pushing higher. YM is kind of holding that zone right there. That doesn't mean that I'm just going to enter a sale. I don't have any of my confirmations or anything like that, but it does seem to be that YM is holding that zone pretty well, where ES and NQ is just ripping to the upside. Um, with that being said, though, do we have maybe a buying scenario for NQ? Mm, not gonna lie, boss. Not liking the price action we've been having since we started that war in Iran. Not gonna lie. Good morning, Sarah. Let's see if metals is doing anything. No, that sell is still playing out. But just because, so when you get into scenarios like this where you do have a higher time frame sale, like I do right here, it's a 1 hour sale, that I would like to take down into structure right here. Then if we can get solid confirmations when this Tokyo high gets taken out, like if we can get a nice push up and then pretty much a shakeout scenario. Himmel, I don't know how much you trade the shakeout, but basically that's what you want to see every time, and not just specifically that pattern. That's just the easiest way to draw it, but that's where they liquidate the highs, they induce sellers right here, they get sellers to come into the market, they take them out, they get buyers to come in, and then they take them out. And so that's actually what's going on in that setup right there. And but you always want to see like high levels of liquidity, like session highs. You want to see them taken. But with that being said, if we can get this shakeout scenario to form within this higher time frame zone, that's a 1 hour, instead of going for a 1 to 3 like you would have with this trade, you can get a lot better RR. And now the 1 to 3, that same trade, just because you got a better entry model, that same trade's now a 1 to 12, 1 to 13. Um, so pay attention to this. I'll set an alert right there. Check out the other metals, see how they're doing. Silver, silver's the more bearish one. Platinum's well above the Tokyo high. Hmm. I don't like that. I don't like that because what I don't like about this is if we do get this shakeout set up on gold, and then silver decides that it wants to push above Tokyo, then it could hit our stop loss, still be within this larger zone, but hit our stop loss and actually come down. Mm, And you know what? I couldn't hold this. I was asleep when we actually got up into this zone. We haven't gotten the full mitigation. Like so, for instance, that full mitigation is a 442.2 pips, and all we've gotten so far is 32. So we still haven't gotten that full mitigation. So the trade is still valid. Mm, I don't know. I'm gonna wait to see if we can't get that shakeout. I'm okay with not risking it just in case this was the mitigation right here and we just push higher just because of how much more bullish gold is than silver. That's like that main core divergence that's going on right there. What the fuck is that? Sorry, this like giant bug just landed on my wall. Let's see what we got. Listening in on my way to work. What did you think of gold? Air played out nicely from yesterday. Unfortunately, I was. Oh yeah, yeah, pretty much what I was just saying. Which is why like I would want to see that shakeout form because even though like within my rules, this is still a valid trade because I haven't gotten that full 42 move mitigation. It's I don't like that when we do come down, we come right back up. We come down, we come right back up, you know? And so, like, even if we did get this shakeout right here, just for a conservative exit, just target those Tokyo lows right there, Not those Tokyos, those London lows right there, from the session open, which I mean, you still get a really good, solid risk to reward if we're able to get it to play out. But as of now, we haven't swept any of those highs, and so I'm not I'm not really a fan of it right now. Um, then everything just has this giant imbalance. Like, why isn't that popping up for silver? That's weird. Mhm. We could see some sales out of right here on natural gas. Not get natural gas, but on crude oil. I mean, that's a pretty big zone, so I don't necessarily like how big that zone is. Maybe we can refine it down on the 1 minute. Not really. Not really. It's kind of that is the move right there. But there you do see this order block right here that's in the middle of structure. It's at a point where you've seen previous reversals in the past, like on multiple scales, even all the way to right here where you have this. You even have an order block that's sitting right there at that zone. And so if coming up into this zone right here, I would like to see the reversals right there. Matter of fact, I do I do like this. We're trading back down into price action from last week. But hmm, I'm curious. I'm curious to see how this works out. Because looking at the higher time frame, I don't know. I don't know if sales are going to be the best thing. Not only that, but we're still having major supply chain disruptions from the Hormuz Strait being shut down from the Iranian war, and that's why we've seen this massive increase in the price of oil, like per barrel, is because of the supply chain issues that have came out, and so this kind of looks to me like they were closing a position right here, almost like a almost like a mitigation. Like they came down and they closed out before it really just started ripping up to the upside. Um, hmm. I'd have to know what we're doing with Venezuela's oil reserves in order for this to be like a highly probable trade. But I don't think there would be any issue with trading within structure and just coming down like at the very most where you start seeing these you have these resistance and support levels right there. Mm, just not liking I'm not liking the demand that's down there. Like yeah, we got a couple hours of trading of price action down here, but I mean 15 hours, just over half a day. Hmm, that's actually pretty good solid demand. Do have this imbalance right here. I'd be okay with taking this. I'd be okay with taking this. Mhm. Now, would we get all the way down? No, since it is kinda counter trend trading, I would probably only target like a 1 to 2, like just come down into this structure right here, like a 2.5 is, perfect risk to reward. And if you actually get into that 1 minute order block, and we see reversals out of that key zone that we've seen before, then oh, no, no, yeah, that's perfect. So, yeah, about a 1 to 2.5 is, like, the furthest I would like to take this, just because I'm seeing this as counter trend. Um, Even though we did have, demand and we did create structure below these previous lows, I'm just the world events, the geopolitical world events is kind of what has me a little skeptical to sell oil. Same thing with natural gas. Both of those markets work off of pretty much the oil industry. Um, but I do see natural gas at least coming down to reversals right there. And so the correlation between the two is I could see, like I said, a counter trend trade going for that 1 to 2, or not 1 to 2, but yeah, 1 to 2, 1 to almost 3. And then depending on how we work our way down, like maybe even like just walk your stop down just in case you can get down into this structure right here. Because you've seen there's a lot of support and resistance. You've seen where the market's come up, rejected off that level, where it had price suppression in that level. So if we're able to work our way down past that and you just kind of like walk your stop loss down, and you're okay with maybe taking a 1R off the table just in case it does reverse, because you want to be like 1R, 2R in profit before you start walking your stop down. Then I think you'd be okay, because there is a chance we could get down there, but I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy in the community, that that trades too. What is it that Mike says on his live set? I'm just a guy on the internet. Give me 1 second. I'm actually I gotta post this one. London Central trains, boom, 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 and then Control Alt S. Oh, come on. And then I think I noticed. I don't want to butcher your name, but I'm gonna try Amilcar. Amilcar. I think that's right. Amilcar. If I remember, you just recently got funded, right?
Wow, bro, I cannot believe you just said that perfectly.
Oh, wait, it's Hispanic, right? It's a Hispanic
Yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah. It's Hispanic.
Yeah, my wife's Hispanic. I speak Spanish, so like
Word.
yeah, I would not fluent, but enough to get by. But yeah, my wife is Spanish, like her whole family and stuff is, and I like it's not what I wanted to say. That was like my second guess, but the first
Nah,
one
you
just
said it. Executed it perfectly, bro.
yeah, but just like you've been executing your trading, man, I've seen you've been getting funded, dude.
Hey, bro. Yeah, that was a blessing, bro.
It always is, man. It always is.
I came here on a mission, bro.
That's good to hear, bro. That's what I like to hear, man. Yeah, I've been my trading account right now kind of looks like this. I'm not gonna lie, like I don't really like the market conditions we're having right now. I don't like how everything's just been consolidating, and my account's just been consolidating.
Yeah, I took a little loss in my sleep this morning.
Let's check on gold, see what that's doing.
Nothing too major
Would
though.
you would you would you take a loss on?
I took a loss on GBP. I took a little sell off the order block that was created inside the gap, the first order block.
This like off this one right here, or was it a different gap?
Yeah, that one down there.
What was it? So you were trying to get a sell out of like right in here,
Yep, I
like
took
right?
a half risk though because I
Oh,
didn't think it was gonna
what
play
was it?
out.
Was it this one right here?
Yep, same one.
Yeah. Do you so like if you don't mind, like if do you mind if I break it down real quick on why it
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
most
of course, bro.
so whenever we're looking for demand, right? And I was actually just talking to Sarah about this. This right here isn't solid demand. It isn't solid structure because you don't really see any type of like clear closes below that. Like, and even the
Mm-hmm.
ones you do, it just comes right back up, and then you get wicks, and it comes up, and then it comes right back up. But you don't get like any clear you don't get clear structure where it actually trades below that zone. And
Right.
so there's no demand for price action to come below right there. Nobody's willing to buy and sell with it lower than that level in the market. So the furthest you could have took this trade would be like something like this right here, right? Like the furthest you could have took it would be just down to that line, and that's like the absolute furthest because that's the last zone where people were willing to buy and sell at. But
Right.
then once you start seeing like these wicks right here, where it goes from you have some body closures, but now you're just getting wicks, and then the volume is getting a little more sporadic, like especially down on the 1 minute. You can see how this is like really, really like consolidated and like, excuse my French, but it's a clusterfuck. And then it starts getting a little more spread out. But not only that, but you start seeing larger buying candles, and then you start seeing a lot of buying volume that starts coming in right after this absorption that pretty much liquidated everybody's stops right there. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like, mainly just because there's no structure below that zone, that would have invalidated it for me, just because that's my first confirmation trend in market structure. If I don't have that demand that's built with that structure,
Yeah.
then there there's no point in taking the trade, you know? Like there's not, at least for me, I've seen them play out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um but the probabilities that they don't play out is greater whenever you don't get that solid demand, you
Right.
know? And then like even if you look at it like on the 15, you're not getting any closes below that wick, you know? So it's like nobody's willing to buy and nobody's really willing to sell or buy right there. Like nobody's really
Mm-hmm.
willing to sell right there, just because also like looking at it in like this higher zone, like especially like on a 4 hour. I mean, man, you're maybe only a 50% retracement within a 4 hour trading range.
Yep.
When you were trying to, not even, you were right there at the 50%. That's still discount, man. Like you're still trying, you're selling in discount.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so like I hope that helps. I didn't mean for that last part to come out like that. I was like, damn. I was like, that's crazy.
No, no, no. You're good, bro.
Yeah, and so like it's little nuances like that, man. That you want to watch out for, just because like see like right here, like this is solid demand below that low, and so this right here, this demand, how it comes below this low, and you got solid closures, but you have people that are willing to buy and sell in the market. That's why you have
Yep.
that consolidation effect. And so I mean that just confirms bearish structure for me. So
Mm-hmm.
like we had bullish breaks of structures right there, but now that we actually have that demand and that consolidation below the low, well, I'm bearish on 6B now. So I'd be looking for sales. Just not anytime right now. See, what do we got going on for gold? Let's see if we got our shakeout scenario. No, but we did clear the highs. So now we can actually watch for the shakeout. Let's see what silver's doing though. I wish it would have flipped. I wish it would have flipped.
Bro, can you explain the shakeout to me?
Yeah, 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 yeah. So I was actually just doing that with him. This is the easiest one to do it just because we're right there by the Tokyo by London. So what it is the whole point of it, right? That even in its name, it's to shake out people, right? So we'll do this like the simple way, real quick. We got to have our demand. We got to have our solid demand. And so, like, let's say for right here, you
Oh, so
have
it's like a fake out.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a fake out. So this,
Okay,
let's say
okay.
this is, but it one of the main confirmations for the fake out is a large pool of liquidity has to get liquidated. That's why, like, if it's not at a session high or a session low,
Hmm.
I'm not really trying to take a shakeout, because I want to see that large pool of liquidity get taken out. And
I
so what
got you.
happens is the manipulation comes in and it
Hmm.
liquidates that session or that liquidity pool, right? And so then you have retail buyers and sellers that come into the market and they're trying to do a break and retest, right? And so you
Right.
got people that are buying up here and you got people that are trying to sell off of that resistance level, but you also got people that are trying to buy off of that resistance level. And so
Hmm.
that's when you get that bit of demand that gets caught up in right there. And then it comes up, shakes, so it lures in buyers, takes them out, liquidates all of them, lures in sellers, and then it lures in sellers and then it lures in buyers and
Yeah.
takes it out. So this is what lures in the buyers and this is what lures in the sellers right here.
Hmm.
This liquidates all of them and then it keeps on going in the trajectory. So that's all it is like, I mean, basically the banks are just like whoop, 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 like just kind of doing a little juke move in the markets right there.
Yep.
And that's my understanding of shakeouts. That's and they've been playing out pretty well. So like one thing I'm not liking about this right here is we don't really have solid demand below these
Hmm.
lows. The only reason that I would be willing to take a shakeout right here is because I have this 1 hour setup that me and Sarah marked up yesterday, and we haven't gotten the full mitigation out of this zone. This is a 42 pip
Yeah,
move.
I have that same zone marked up. I took an earlier entry and it got a little smoked. It was only half risk though.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's
Also,
what I'm saying. Like it's kind of just been chopping up. So like this would
yeah, I took
definitely
it like
be
last night.
yeah, yeah. Like it came in at like 10 o'clock for me.
Hmm.
I don't trade Asian session. That's like just my data shows me that I'm unless it's the yen. Like if I got a yen set up, I mean, dude, I'll trade that on Sunday if I could or
Yeah,
Saturday.
right.
Saturday would be a better one. But yen's really like the only one I'll trade during Asian session. But like I was saying, like I don't like that we've come up, come down, come up, come down.
Hmm.
We've just kind of been like consolidating right there. I do like that we have a lot of imbalance and liquidity left over. And I like that it's still within my 1 hour zone that I was planning on just taking down into structure right here, like a little 1 to 3. So if we can get a shakeout right here, I'd be willing to go like half risk on it. And in order for the shakeout to be valid, you gotta see this demand build up. And so you want to see people that are willing to buy and sell like down in this range right here. And so then, and I like to take them off of the sessions right there, like the session reversals, just because it's a strong resistance level. And it's pretty much where they're going to go to close out that liquidity sweep right there. But if we don't get that demand, because I've seen them play out. I've seen them play it. Man, I guess this is a shakeout session this morning, like a shakeout education, which I'm fine with. But like I've seen them play out where it comes down like this and then just goes straight back up and then comes down. Like I've seen them play out like that, but the probability is just greater when you let that demand build and then you get in. So I'm gonna set an alert like right here. I really don't like how silver is the more bearish one though. That's the only thing that's kind of got me like, hmm. Because this was out of that same cell right here. This was that same push up that new that gold did. Sorry guys, it's like 4:30 in the morning for me. Uh, yeah, see, like this is actually a good example, right? So we didn't get that. We came down. We didn't get that demand, and it would have been liquidated, right? Um, so that's kind of what happens when you don't get that demand. That's like a shakeout in itself, you're the shakeout when it does that. It's the best way I can put it, you know. 6 in, not really liking that. 6S would have been cleanest one. Everything's kind of giving like shakeout vibes right now. That was a mitigation. Oh, that's why. I feel like we're about to see the dollar reject off this Tokyo low. We do have red folder news tomorrow. But like anything, this is a perfect example. Like you don't need a red folder for there to be a super volatile move. Let's see. Let's see. What did she say? Let's go. I did same. Got stopped out. Got to hop off. It's so helpful. Thanks so much. Going to rewatch later. Have a great day, you guys. Okay, yeah. Thanks for reminding me, Sarah. I am recording it though. Cool, 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 cool. All right. So I mean, unless y'all have anything that y'all want to like specifically look at, there's really just not a whole lot going on right now. Looks like the moves were kind of from the London Open right here. I think we could be setting out for a couple of shakeouts, but I don't like the correlation with the assets. So like if we try to take out a shakeout with gold right now, we'd probably see silver push up to take out those highs, and that would make gold go pretty much past our stop loss. Um, Gold is looking nice for buys though. Like if we can if we can hold above this zone right here and create demand above that, then I this is a clean buy if we can hold that demand right there. You have efficient price action right there. Like I said, we got this spike down, spike up, so there was very little demand, which means this was strictly liquidation, strictly manipulation. Really large volume of candle came in right there. That's like what I love to see. So if we can, I'm not even going to take that trade no more. That one's kind of invalidated for me just because of how everything's playing out. So like if we can trade above right here for a little while, maybe like 20, 30 minutes till like the 5 o'clock, then yeah, this would be a solid gold entry. This would be a beautiful entry right here. And let's see, looks like market has rebalanced itself. You have everything touching down into where these imbalances are filled, reversal levels. Yeah, I'm liking this. If we can get this demand up here, then I'm liking gold for buys a lot more than silver. Mm, I don't know why I deleted that. I need that right there. See, post this one. on the condition that we get the demand. Let's see, edit. There. That first one was gold. Let's see. I forgot. Not gold. It was oil. I forgot to put in the ticker for that one. Boom, boom, boom. Looking more and more solid. Check the chat. Oh, what's up, James? Nice of you to hop in, man.
Yeah, thanks. I'm just eating dinner at the minute, so
And just eating dinner at the
just
minute, eh?
cruising from a distance.
Yeah, no, cruising from a distance. I kind of basically what we got right now is a possible gold buy if we can hold demand above these highs right here. It is the most bullish, and then I'm looking at a counter trend sell on oil to come into structure right there. Main reason, like I would love to take it lower, I really would, but I don't like what's going on in the Middle East, and that's a lot of slippage that we could deal with. You know, natural gas not really setting up for anything. Hmm. Wait a second. No, I don't like that. I do not like. I don't like that and how that's equal with the New York lows. Hmm. Mm, I do not like that because this right here is just all buy stops, and that has not been liquidated yet. We might see. We might. I don't trade order blocks. I've seen them work very efficiently in the past though. So we might see a reversal out of this order block zone, out of this order block right here, and also where that gap is. You know, because a gap can be used as like a true support and resistance level, which would probably be why. Yeah, 'cause that's where the gap started. Yeah, 'cause the gap was from this open to this close right here. So yeah, all of that is gap and price action. It looks like we're sitting on that pretty nicely. I learned that from Valentino. He used to be in an MLM. He was an educator there, but he did a very long, in-depth, like week-long session on gaps and imbalances and how the market will tend to use them as a true support and resistance. Like, I mean, even here you can see it. We don't have any body closures below it. It only wicks down. You come right there, New York sessions resting on it. So, I mean, proof is in the pudding. But if we can get down, if we can get down into there and maybe like reject off this zone, maybe see a shakeout type deal, I would like that. But there, I don't, me personally, I'm not seeing anything that's clean enough that I would like to take. I mean, maybe somebody would take this right here, but I just don't like how we have this liquidity pool that lines up right there with the New York low. And so that looks like an even more tantalizing little morsel for the market to chew on right there. I don't need that there no more. It's cool. You got anything you're looking at, James? Did he die on me? I guess he did. Guess he did. Hmm. Don't know how much I like that. I don't know how much I like that. See how the other ones are looking. 6A, way more bullish. Way more bullish. 6J, way more bullish. I think everything else is trading above the highs. They are. Oh, okay. That actually looks a little bit cleaner now. I think we already got it though. I think that's what this was right here. Came into that support level, went into that order block. Yeah. Wouldn't be worth the take now. Would not be worth the risk. That's the only thing I don't like about it. Otherwise, structure wise, market placement, price action, it's pretty solid. Well, honestly, guys, that's unless y'all have anything y'all specifically want me to look at, if y'all got any questions, anything like that, I'm all down to help. But otherwise, we can watch the candlesticks move, but it's a pretty slow morning as of now. I would have liked to have seen this NQ imbalance get filled. So if y'all do not have anything, I will end this session here. I mean, I'm ending it in like 5 minutes anyway. There's just nothing going on. So going once, going twice. All right. Well, y'all have a great trading day. May the odds ever be in your favor, however that goes. But see, thank you for this session. Yeah, no problem, bro. We actually do it daily now. So like Monday through Friday at this time, I'm actually on here streaming. Sometimes we get more people, sometimes we don't. I don't even if nobody hops on, I still just stream and do the recorded session and just kind of like do a live breakdown. So anytime you want to hop on, man, we'll be here. Well, y'all have a great night, great morning, great day, whatever it is for you. Great, thanks. All right, yeah, cool, man. And y'all can always ask questions and stuff too, like hinting. Like if there's anything you don't understand, feel free to unmute yourself. If you ever want to like share your screen and walk through something, I can give you permission to share your screen, all that stuff. It's not like this one isn't as formal, or it doesn't have to be like Mike's New York sessions. Like I like to have a little bit of conversation. So like y'all don't ever like be afraid to unmute yourselves and just be like, I don't understand that, or even what I like even better if y'all are like, I see something else and this is what I see, because everybody's brain works different and stuff. So yeah, y'all have a great day though, man, for like the fifth time.